Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by. Dick Tracy is on the air.
Now, the makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those two specially delicious quick energy cereals that are shot from guns, bring you another thrilling Dick Tracy adventure. Are you good at games, one of the best in your crowd? Or do you get left out of a lot of fun because you can't keep up with the rest of the crowd? Well, Dick Tracy wants you to be one of the best, one of those lucky boys or girls who's just as alive with trigger-fast energy as Dick Tracy is himself. And I know you want to be, too. And that's why you always hear the big guns on these thrilling Dick Tracy programs. They remind you to get the trigger-fast food energy you need from hearty, tempting breakfasts of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice every day. Those two delicious cereals really are shot from big guns, not just to make them look different and taste better than ordinary cereals, but to make them specially easy to digest, so that thousands of active boys and girls and grown-ups get lots of trigger-fast food energy every day in breakfast that tastes extra good. And remember, Mother's always glad, and so is Dad, when there's a big dish of crisp, delicious Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice for breakfast. So be sure to ask Mother to get some for all of you from the grocer. Yesterday, we heard how Junior had been taken prisoner by the Mogul and Dryden Small, members of a society of art thieves. Junior communicated with Dick Tracy through the special code. Tracy and his men arrived at the scene where Junior was held captive. But another person arrived first, a man wearing a large black hat and a large black cape with which he covered his face. This unknown person freed Junior and assured him that his only desire was to help him and Tracy.
You are free to go. And now I must leave you.
Say, wait a minute. Dick will want to thank you for what you've done. Don't go.
No, I must. The police mustn't find me here, especially Dick Tracy.
I don't understand. You've done me a good turn. Why should you be afraid of the police? And who are you?
I go as mysteriously as I came. Think of me as the unknown.
Gosh, now I wonder who he was. The unknown and called himself. Well, anyway, he helped me. If it hadn't been for him, I'd still be tied and gagged. He must be all right. Oh, gosh, they're looking for me. I gotta get out into the street. Hey, Dick! Dick!
Junior, are you all right, boy?
Yeah, sure, I'm fine, Dick.
Thank heaven.
You got my message, didn't you?
Yes, we got your message. That's how we got here.
Well, so you found him, Dick.
Hello, Pat.
Hello, Junior. Talk about being pleased to see anybody. I'm certainly pleased to see you, boy.
Tell me, how did you get away from Small and the Mogul?
Oh, they left the place for a while, and they had me tied and gagged in another room. Well, I was trying to get free, see, when the door opened up. And in comes this fella dressed in a big black cape with a black hat and a wide brim. He untied me and set me free.
What did he look like, Junior?
Well, I don't know, Dick. He kept his face concealed behind the black cape. He said he was afraid to meet the police and that he had to go as mysteriously as he came. Those are his exact words. And he also said we could call him the Unknown.
The Unknown?
Uh-huh.
Does it make sense to you, Dick?
No, not yet, I must confess.
Well, if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't have been able to get away. Oh, and Dick, before I forget it.
Yeah?
I could overhear a little of what Small and the Mogul were talking about in the next room. And I heard the Mogul say something about number 1 being in town.
Number 1, huh?
Uh-huh.
Pat, that convinces me I'm right.
About what?
About there being someone behind the Mogul. A power at the head of the ring of art treasure thieves. Number 1 must be that power.
Well, I hope you're right. But I wouldn't know whether you were or not. This thing is getting too deep for me. What with number 1, the Mogul, Dryden Small, and now this Unknown. Dick, does it make sense to you?
Well, it's going to make sense by the time I'm through. I'm going to find out the relationship between this whole crew and their connection with the art treasure racket. There's only one thing to do, and we're going to get started on it right now.
Started doing what, Dick?
We're going to get in touch with every art dealer and every collector in town. We're going to find out where they've been buying their merchandise and from whom. It's going to mean a lot of detail work and a lot of digging. We're not going to let that discourage us. We're going to dig until we unearth the crooks and the power behind them. Hello, Pat.
Hi.
Any messages?
No, none at all. Where were you today?
Well, I've spent the day talking with art dealers and wealthy collectors. Those I could get to see, anyway.
Pick up any helpful information?
No, not yet, Pat. But I'm hoping to. It'll take a little time, of course. We'll have to examine a mass of data and go through a great many records. I had a very interesting interview with Mirzo Bredwick.
Mirzo Bredwick. With a name like that, he ought to be interesting. Who is he?
Mirzo Bredwick, Pat, is one of the world's leading recognized authorities on art. He's not only an authority on original works of art, but he possesses a remarkable knowledge of imitations that have been made and sold in the past few years. He's promised to let me have a look at his files and to offer me his full cooperation. His assistance ought to prove invaluable.
Oh, I should think it would.
Any further reports on the Mogul and Dryden Small?
No, some of the boys waited for them for several hours near the house in which they kept Junior, but they didn't show up.
It's too bad we had to rush that place. If we'd been able to make a quiet raid, we wouldn't have warned them and frightened them off.
Well, Junior's safety was all that mattered. At that moment, it was more important to rescue him than it was to trap Small and the Mogul. Hey, you seem to have something on your mind, Dick.
Yes, I have. You know, Pat, I can't get this unknown who freed Junior out of my mind.
Junior's description of him does make him out rather a queer bird. And the things he did and the things he said don't fit somehow. I mean, on one hand, he helps Junior escape from the Mogul and Dryden Small and tells Junior that all he wants to do is to help us. And then he runs away the moment he knows the police are on the scene.
Yes, that is inconsistent, isn't it? Wanting to help the police and at the same time obviously in fear of them. The unknown seems to know us, and I have a feeling that we know him. I'm going to be rather shocked when we find out who he is.
If we find out who he is. Can you make a guess as to who he is, Dick? Too bad Junior couldn't get a look at his face.
I haven't enough information at the moment to make a very accurate guess, so I won't make any.
The unknown, number one, all this mystery. This business of hunting people whose identity you don't know. I don't like it.
I don't either, much. But then, whether we like it or not, we've got a job to do. Unless I miss my guess, it's not going to be an easy job.
Hello? Yes? Oh, it's you, McGill. Yes, this is Small. You say number one wants to see me? Oh, what's it about? It's not about that black pearl, is it? Because it wasn't my fault, you know. What? Oh, it's about something else. All right. Well, where do I go? I see. Number one's sending a chauffeur to pick me up. All right. He knows enough to be careful, doesn't he? The people are combing the city for us. All right. I wonder what number one wants to see me about. Number girl said it wasn't about the black pearl. What? I wonder who that could be. That chauffeur couldn't have got here that quickly. That's the knock, all right. Must be the chauffeur. No one else would know the signal. Just a moment. Coming. What?
Good evening, Dryden Small.
What?
I startled you?
Who are you?
You may call me the Unknown.
The unknown? How do you know the signal? What do you want?
I want you.
Well, I've done nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
Why do you turn so deathly white? Why do you tremble so? Is it possible that you are afraid of me?
You take that cape away from your face. Let me see who you are.
Never mind about that. You wouldn't know me anyway. I see you were preparing to go out. Excellent. We shall go out together.
Where to? Where do you want to take me?
Why be so curious, Dryden Small? We will be together, will we not? Surely my company will be a delight to you.
I don't know who you are, but you'd better get out of here. I've got a gun.
I, too, have a gun under my cape. I have had it pointed at you all the while we talked. Come. Do not hurt my feelings by refusing to accompany me. I may begin to resent it. You wouldn't want to stir up my resentment, Dryden Small, would you? Now, will you come quietly?
I'll come.
Of course you will. I knew you wouldn't want to hurt my feelings.
And that's the layout, as I see it, Pat. At the head of this huge ring of art thieves and art counterfeiters is a single controlling power. That sinister power is known to its confederates as number one. This ring, I'm convinced, is not limited to local operations. It's a gigantic, widespread international organization.
Hey, you make it sound like a man-sized job that's staring us in the face. However, I'm not going to be very much help to you. I haven't got your endurance, you know, and even you aren't a man of iron. Although I'll bet many a crook has learned to think so. Hey, what do you say? Let's go home.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Come on.
Well, I'm dead. How about stopping for a cup of coffee?
Fine, wait till I get my coat. All right, everything seems to be in order. Put that light out in there, will you, Pat?
Okay.
All right. Let's lock up and get going.
I thought we were through for the day. I hope this doesn't mean more trouble.
Well, trouble or not, we've got to answer it. Tracy speaking.
Hello, Mr. Tracy. I'm glad I caught you at your office.
Who is this? What can I do for you?
This is the unknown, Mr. Tracy.
Oh. Well, I'm indebted to you, I believe, for what you did last night for my ward, Dick Tracy, Jr.
Oh, not at all. It was a great pleasure to me. I called to tell you that it would be best if you went to your home as quickly as possible.
My home? But...
There's a surprise waiting for you there. That's all I can say at this time. Goodbye.
Who was that?
The unknown. Come on, Pat, come on. We've got to get to the apartment as quickly as possible.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, but he said it would be a surprise.
That unknown promises to be something of a surprise himself, it seems to me.
Well, here we are. We'll know in a moment. Switch on the light, Pat.
I don't see anything.
No, nothing in here. Try the bedroom. Not a thing. Can't understand this. He said... Wait a minute. What was that?
Dick, there's someone in that closet.
We'll soon know who or what it is.
Small. Strident Small, bound and gagged.
Yes. There's a note pinned to his coat.
What's it say?
It says, Pat, with the compliments of the unknown.
Who is the unknown? Do you know? And why does he help the police and yet run away from them? Who is number one? There are a lot of things we don't know yet. But now let's stand by for your Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol meeting, brought to you again by the makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those delicious cereals that are shot from guns to give you quick energy like Dick Tracy. All right, Junior.
The meeting will now come to order, patrol members. And the first thing I want to say is this. If you haven't sent for your Dick Tracy secret ring yet, do it right away before they're all gone.
If you could see the way the letters are pouring in for those secret rings, you would be amazed.
And if you see some other boy or girl wearing a Dick Tracy secret ring and then can't get one because they're all gone, you'll be mighty sorry.
It's really a beautiful ring, too. Your friends certainly envy you when you wear it. It's plated with 14-karat gold, and the big, handsome signet with Dick Tracy's picture on it is really a secret compartment for carrying secret messages and notes.
That's where Dick kept the Pearl of Osiris.
And I'll bet that's where you keep your girl's picture, Junior.
Oh, I haven't got a girl.
Well, that's too bad, because lots of boys do have a girl, and because now you could tell her how to get one of those smart new Dick Tracy bangle bracelets.
Yes, sir. I could help her get a Dick Tracy secret ring and a Dick Tracy bracelet, too.
Well, then it's too bad you're such a confirmed bachelor, Junior. Think what some girl is missing.
Oh, I don't know. Thousands of girls and boys are getting their swell Dick Tracy secret ring or Dick Tracy bangle bracelets free.
You're right. Now, here's all you do, boys and girls. Just tear the tops off 5 packages of Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice as soon as they're empty, and mail the 5 box tops to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago, for either the secret ring or the bangle bracelet. Enclose your name and address printed on a plain piece of paper, and be sure to state whether you want the Dick Tracy secret ring or the Dick Tracy bracelet or both. But be sure to send 5 Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice box tops for each one to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago. Those big guns are busy making delicious, nourishing Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice for you. Eat some every day and send your box tops right away. Look for the store that displays the Dick Tracy headquarters sign. Ask Mother to get you some Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice from the grocer.
Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by for another exciting Dick Tracy adventure Monday at this same time. That is all.